Watch out, cat. I bought this pair of wall sconces, electric wall sconces at a garage sale. They were just 50 cents a piece. And I thought about using them myself, but I don't want to do too much remodeling to my house. And so I put them up for sale for $40. They're spun aluminum. They've got some paint, overpaint brush strokes on them, but still has the wiring ready to go. And they took only a couple of weeks to sell, $40. Another dirty old car part. These are great. You don't have to clean them up. You just got to be able to make out the part number. This is a power steering bracket off a Mustang with a V8. And this sold for $40. One of the things I look for when obtaining auto parts to resell is whether or not these pieces come off easily and can be lost. Like this ashtray off of a 1975 Mustang. Pretty good shape, just a little bit of use. And this sold for $30. This is a 12-volt power supply for a mobile Heathkit transmitter, ham radio transmitter. This is the way I found it. Beat up like this and untested, but still sold for $30. This is a pretty high quality egg cooker. It's a Oster brand, and I have one myself, a plastic one. It works just fine, but when I saw this for $2 at a garage sale, I thought, wow, maybe I should upgrade mine. Well, I tried it. It works fine. Doesn't work any better than my cheap plastic one, and so I quick looked it up under solds and decided to sell it. Took about a month and it sold for $55. I saw this at an estate sale for just $8. And with my recent experience with all these models, I knew this was going to be gold. It's a rare car. It's a Jaguar XKE. And it's a large model. This is 1/8 scale. Even though it's partially built, lots of pieces, not even sure if they're all there. I listed it this way, and it's still sold for $130. You see big old models like this, pick them up. Another vintage auto part. This is new old stock Ford. It's basically a steering dust cover or seal, steering boot. And this sold for $40. This sold again. This is a case for a electronics kit, a AM transmitter, radio transmitter kit. This is just a case. I sold it earlier to a guy, and he wrote me back to double check that it was the entire kit, not just the case, and I had to cancel the sale because it is just the matching kit cabinet, just sort of a metal box. So I put it back up for sale, and it took only a couple weeks. Sold for $20. This stout looking percolator is a General Electric model. I picked this up for free. Either it was at a garage sale or perhaps the free wagon at the auction, but it didn't have a cord. So I just let it sit until I happened upon the cord that fits these, which is your 2-prong style. And once I got the cord, I made myself a nice pot of coffee to make sure it all worked. Nice and clean in there. And it did. And put it up for sale for $80, and it took about a week. I still find it amazing how much these little Matchbox cars can bring. This little one, it's a Mustang 2, orange with the black Landau roof. Got opening doors, the original box. And the same guy bought this one as well. This is a bit larger scale. This is 1/45th scale, where this is a 1/64th scale. And this is the Tomica Dandy series. A little bit larger cars. This again is a Mustang 2 Fastback. And the orange one sold for $45, and the larger blue one sold for $80. This is a United brand vintage clock. It's got these, they look like maple leaves with white paint and the gold showing through. It's kind of a cool look. And it's not a real large clock, as you can see by my hand here. And it's not really a starburst either, but it's still interesting enough for me to pick up at a church sale for just a couple dollars, and it's sold for $40. At yard sales, I often find items that I may have purchased when I was a kid in high school in the 70s, such as these fog lamps. Every kid had to put these on his 67 Ford Fairlane, right? Brand new in the box at a garage sale for $2, and it only took about 2 weeks to sell for $40. Another model sold. I keep showing these because you might come across a table at an auction full of models. Well worth the time to look them up. This is a Ford Mustang II promo model. And even though it's hard to tell, but there's some surface scratches on it, so it's been played with a little bit, but it's still sold to a gentleman in Canada for $60. I have to double check that. I have sold these on best offer for a little bit less, but this was full price, $60. Inside of that big red Jaguar XKE model was an extra assembly manual for a different model, for the Big Drag Competition Roadster model. And so I decided to throw this up because, and then right when I listed it, I put in one last item that it has the parts list. And I started thinking, boy, that could be quite valuable, but I still left it at the $20, and it took just 1 day to sell this vintage assembly manual for a model car. This is a vintage old style freezer defroster. I saw this at a garage sale, and I think I've researched these in the past and found that they didn't sell very quickly or for that much money, really. And it still doesn't sell for a lot. I got $20 for it. But my thinking was that I've been reading on some of my Facebook groups about a lot of people getting into vintage appliances, including refrigerators. One thing I learned too is that the refrigerators that you have to defrost use less energy because they're constantly defrosting themselves, I guess. In any case, this is still new in the box. It sold for 20 bucks. It was just $1 at the garage sale. This is a Magnavox VCR DVD recorder combo. The DVD recorder section is what's really valuable on these. This was at a garage sale. It was only $3. I just don't understand people. Came with the cables, remote. This is one of the discs I used to test it, an RW disc. I always include that because it's not much good to me after I've formatted and tested it. But this took over a month to sell, and usually these sell within a week or two. And then I noticed I was lazy the day I listed this, and I didn't post a video. I think I had a little problem with figuring out all the ins and outs of recording on disc with this, and I didn't want to take the time to read the manual and learn all of it, so I just put it up without a video. It's still sold for a good premium price of $190. This is another HO scaled locomotive train model. I unearthed this actually yesterday, going through another box of the hobby trains and cars that I acquired last summer, and I'm still unearthing some of that stuff. This is a Doodlebug, they call it. It's a gas electric, the Great Northern brand on it. Very good condition, and I was able to sell this in less than a day for $60. Another platter pack. I found this at a garage sale, and the lady wasn't sure what it was for, and she only wanted 50 cents for it. Certainly a buyer. I paid as much as $3 for one of these. This one has got a couple of nicks on it. There's the platter pack most of the time the platter pack name and model number is usually on the back. I usually find it here, but this one was found on the bottom. In any case, this is for your 12-inch record albums, so you can bring part of your collection to your dance party. And this sold for $40.